Hey Genderqueer Chat, welcome to Tuesday. My name is Stacy, and this video looks really dark to me. So hopefully it's not too dark, but this room's actually really well lit, but the computer I'm on is old and it doesn't always pick up on the lighting in the room, I guess. So it usually uploads fine to YouTube, or it looks a lot lighter than it does when I'm recording, but I don't know, this one looks really dark, so if it's dark, oops. But I have to start doing what Nat does and recording my videos on my phone, because then I probably wouldn't have this problem. But I want to, record some videos on my phone first and test it, make sure it uploads okay to YouTube, do that maybe over the weekend, so I feel confident with my video on Tuesday that it will load okay and that it will look okay and all of that. But I always forget. Every weekend comes by and I forget, and every Tuesday I go, oh my goodness, I gotta make my video, when I go running home from work and I just get on the computer and I think, why didn't I use my phone? Anyway, that's enough of that. You probably don't care, but the topic this week is someone you are close to refuses to use your preferred pronoun. You would like to speak with them about this. How would you handle this conversation, and what would you say? So, to start off, I don't make pronouns easy for anybody. And it's not because I want to make everyone's life more difficult. It's because I have really mixed feelings about pronouns. So, basically, I dislike all pronouns equally. I don't like he or she or they or ze or any other gender neutral pronoun out there. And here's why. Here's a little bit more information too, so you got an idea of what I'm talking about. So back 2 weeks ago, I think, I was at the Gender Identity Center, and I left the main room to tour the rest of the facility, and my girlfriend stayed with a volunteer in that main room, and I guess they were talking, and the volunteer asked my girlfriend what my preferred pronoun is, and my girlfriend said it doesn't really matter, and I guess they looked at her weird. Which makes sense. I can see why they would think that would be odd, but she wasn't wrong. It really doesn't matter what pronoun someone uses for me, because I don't really feel any of them apply, or I just don't like them. So if someone could call me he, and I won't correct them, but it's not accurate, I'll accept it. It doesn't matter. Same thing for she. Someone calls me she, I accept it. It's not accurate, but I won't correct them. Someone calls me they, that's a little better, but I don't really like they. And if someone calls me any other gender neutral pronoun, such as ze, or I think it's pronounced here, or something like that, that would be okay too, even though I don't particularly like those either. So yeah, it really doesn't matter, I guess. As far as they goes, I guess they would be my most preferred pronoun, though I don't like it because it can be kind of confusing in conversation. So oftentimes in conversation, someone will use they, to reference one or more people. Now, they is occasionally used to reference a single person, which I think I actually already used they in this video at least once to reference an individual person. But most of the time, I hear they in reference to a group of people. And when someone uses they constantly, and all they use is they when they're referencing one person, it can be very confusing for the listener, because they are not sure if you are referencing one person or a group of people or something like that. And I've noticed it, confusing other people. So that's why I don't really like it. Kind of makes conversation a little bit more difficult than it has to be. I don't like the, but if someone uses they for me, that is, again, my most preferred, and I'm fine that people call me they. That's fine. I'm fine with that. It's just when only they is used and it's not used interchangeably with another pronoun, I think it can sound a little strange or very confusing. So, moving on to other gender neutral pronouns such as the, they're okay, but I just can't get used to them. And that's not to say that I'm never going to get used to them. I'm just not used to them at this time. They sound awkward to me. It's nothing that I can easily add to my conversations. It's nothing that really rolls off the tongue. It's kind of awkward sounding and a little bit weird sounding to me. So again, maybe I'll use them in the future, but right now they're still so foreign and so new to me that it just doesn't feel right using them yet. And as far as he or she, again, neither of them apply, but it's what most people understand and are used to and have been exposed to. So, if they use one or the other, I'm not going to really get too upset over that. Now, here's where it gets a little difficult. While I don't mind he or she and I'll accept them, even though I acknowledge they're not accurate, I also kind of get really sensitive about them too, especially if they are only used. So if someone calls me she all the time, I will feel like they are not acknowledging the fact that I'm genderqueer, even if they do acknowledge that, but I'll feel like they're not acknowledging that. And if someone uses he all the time, I'll feel like that they're seeing me as male or as someone who wants to transition and become male, when that's not true either. So I get very sensitive about both of those, because even though the person using them may have good intentions and may fully see me as a genderqueer person, I feel like they're not acknowledging that enough. But I don't have anything better to give them, so I don't have, hey, don't use he, use this. Hey, don't use she, use this. I don't have that. So what can I do? So, that said, I have had similar conversations in the past about preferred pronouns. I don't really have one, as I said, but I've had similar conversations where someone just doesn't know what pronoun to use for me because I don't know what pronoun to use for me. So, the conversation's usually pretty relaxed, and it's not really made to say, hey, why aren't you using this, or why are you using he, or why are you using she. It's nothing like that. It's just more of, educating them on how it makes me feel, saying, when you only refer to me as she, it makes me feel like you only see me as female. When you only refer to me as he, it makes me feel like you only see me as male, And I'll pretty much go on to discuss pronouns and what I just shared with you. So, again, it's not amazingly productive or eye-opening because there's not that alternative pronoun to give them, but if there was, I think the conversation would be more of, more like, it makes me feel like you're not acknowledging all of me, or that you don't care, or something like that, when you use this pronoun. If you use this pronoun, insert pronoun here, then that would make me feel like you acknowledge me as a whole person, or that would make me feel like you're a little bit more understanding of this, something along those lines. It's kind of a difficult conversation to have, but I don't think it can be that difficult if it's approached calmly and with a rational mind, and with taking the other person's feelings into consideration as well. I think it can be a pretty productive conversation, especially if you have a better pronoun to give that person. So yeah. have anything else to say about that? I don't think so at this time, but yeah, that's how I would handle it. Don't know how helpful that was, but hopefully it was somewhat helpful. Our bonus question this week is, how do you spend long weekends? Well, I like to spend long weekends doing a little bit of everything. I like to definitely sleep in. That's my first priority, sleeping in. And then after that, I just like to, do some errands or house cleaning or whatever I have been putting off for a while because I didn't feel like I had the time or the energy to do it during the week. So, I'll run errands or something like that at least one day. And then another day I'll just kind of like that to take that time to relax, sleep in, watch movies, just kind of have a relaxed, sort of a do nothing day. And then I like to at least have another day for, just doing something fun or doing something I want to do or hanging out or going out somewhere. I mean, it's not an exact science. I don't say, okay, this day I'm going to do this day I'm going to do this day I'm going to do this. But, I like to kind of evenly divide all of those things. So a little bit of responsibility, but mostly relaxation and just having fun. So, and that's what I did this last long weekend we had. So, yeah, it was pretty good. And yeah, and today's already Tuesday, so that's awesome. I only have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then I get another 2 days off. Cool. So, alright, I am out of time, and I will make another video next week.